Okay, what do we have next?
We have...
Oh, only the Starlette
Mocha Coca.
Mocha
That's
Coca.
what they call it.
Starlette extract. I love it.
Okay, I'm going to go get everything we need.
You want to get everything we need? Okay, so you'll remember, this is 1/2 Madagascar beans, 1/2 Indonesian beans, kind of mixing the buttery with the smoky a little bit. And then you'll recall we put in the coffee beans for about 5 weeks, because we had an extra week there between shows. So we had the coffee beans in for 5 weeks. We pulled those out last time, a month ago. We replaced them with cocoa nibs. Now it's time to empty out the cocoa nibs and just leave the vanilla beans to let it start extracting. So we're going to crack this open and smell it.
Yes.
Ooh, that's on there tight. There we go. Some of those crystals will form, and it's on there pretty tight. Okay, so we're going to smell this here for the first time. I know, we love this bottle. Oh my gosh. Starlette, it's better than I imagined.
You know what's interesting is that the first thing you get is the coffee, but then right after that you get this strong cocoa scent.
Yeah.
At first it's a coffee, and then all of a sudden the cocoa comes through.
Now Starlette makes it clear in her recipe that this is always to your liking. So if you were to open it right now and if it was too chocolate and not enough coffee, well, you could pull out the cocoa nibs and add coffee beans for another month, or the other way around. If it was still too much coffee and not enough cocoa, you could pull, or the other way around, you could leave the cocoa nibs in for another month if you wanted more chocolate. So I'm smelling both. I really am getting the mocha. I mean, exactly what she's looking for. The coffee plus the chocolate. And the vanilla, oh my gosh, it's wonderful.
And Starlette is always saying, it's not exact. You have to kind of just go with what you think. If you think it needs more coffee, add more coffee beans. If you think it needs more cocoa, she's go by how you feel. You know, and I like that about her. She's like, it's not a straight science. It's you know, do what you like.
Deborah asked really quick about the sous vide, what temp and how long. Deborah, if you go to our extract recipes in our recipe blog, you'll see a recipe called the Gingrich, and it has all of the instructions there. Paul will probably post a response here, but you'll see all of the instructions there. So we're going to go ahead now and strain the coffee or the cocoa nibs from the vanilla beans. Now Starlette, I'm already, as I see these beautiful coffee or cocoa nibs coming out, you're going to have to give it a real vigorous shake. I am sure that you have a use for dried cocoa nibs after you're done here. And so maybe you could post, if you're able to right now, what do you do with the dried cocoa nibs after you pull them out? I'm curious to know what that use is, because you just hate getting rid of any of these. So it takes a minute to kind of shake them all out. We got them. We might leave 1 or 2 in there because... Now, let's get them all out there. So the other reason, as you'll see right now, that we use this big French square bottle for this extract is we knew that we would be adding different things inside. And so if you had like a tight neck right now and you were trying to get out cocoa nibs or coffee beans, it would be really, really difficult. Yeah. So we use the French square with a wide open neck.
If you remember, Starlette had us tie these beans. So the caviar is still intact. We just tied them in a knot, and then they fit perfectly into the jar. You don't have to worry about stuffing them in, and then the caviar is still safe.
Yep.
Pretty ingenious,
They're whole beans, so they're going to extract a little more traditionally, which means they're going to take a little more time. Half Madagascar, half Indonesian. We're getting all the cocoa nibs off.
But you're saving the caviar.
But you're saving the caviar, so you'll be able to use it later. Let's see if Starlette has said what she does with the cocoa nibs. Not yet. We might post that in one of the comments.
Donna Price, grind up the cocoa nibs and using cocoa in brownies.
Oh, there you go. Donna.
There you go.
There you go. Donna is the employee, or the group member of the moment. Thank you, Donna.
There's
the group member of the moment.
always a way to repurpose this stuff.
Always.
Just love. I'm searching through here to make sure I do not.
We don't want to miss a vanilla bean.
Yeah, I'm not going to miss a vanilla bean. So we're just going to put these in the sink here.
Well, let's hold on to them.
Put them in the sink there.
And then we will grind them up, and we'll play around with that. Now we're using a funnel and just pouring the extract back into the bottle.
Now you're going to have a little less because...
all of the displacement.
Yep.
And so Starlette could answer this. Starlette, we have a little bit less because of the displacement of the cocoa nibs, as well as the coffee beans that we use. So, Starlette, do you top it off with a little more Bacardi Gold? Or obviously we'll make sure all these vanilla beans get underneath the fluid, which is easy to do in this jar.
Well, I think you would definitely just top it off with a little more and then let it sit for the, what,
Because we're 3 months into it, we've got 9 months to go.
Yeah.
So we could probably top it off with just a little more Bacardi Gold and then let the vanilla extraction begin.
But we wanted to leave this so you could see what the displacement would be, right? Because you got to remember that was full of coffee beans and it was also full of cocoa nibs. So there is a displacement. You have to remember that.
So when you're planning your extracts, you know, sometimes everybody wants like the cute little small jars, which are really fun for gifts, and definitely use those. But when you're actually making it, the bigger, the wider, the better. You know, has been our experience. So there we go, Starlette.
So we'll top this off later with some more rum.
With some more Bacardi Gold, same kind of rum. We'll put in just a little bit more, and then we're going to let that sit for 9 months, and we'll see what happens. So Starlette, thank you again for that. We appreciate it, and we're excited. We'll keep updating these on a monthly basis and let you know where we're at. But that's where we're at with the first extracts that we made. Now, it's time. We're going to deviate a little bit from extract making because we try to cater this. Well, let's make sure we answer questions, and then I'll jump ahead. Hello from Ohio. Donna says, I now have an extract cabinet, and I think I may have a problem. No, this is not an addiction. This is not bad. This is just a passion. It's a hobby. And everybody deserves to have a hobby, right? And so for us, it's just a hobby. So it's not an addiction. We need a scratch and sniff button, says Jennifer Briggs. Oh my gosh. Hold it up to the computer here and just kind of like push the air through. I couldn't agree with you more. And then after removing the cocoa nibs, can you just turn the jar on its side? Asked Sharon. That's a great question, Sharon. I think in the case though of this jar, we'll do it for you. Well, they are. Whoop, let me get on the other than the label side.
They are submerged.
They are submerged.
A little bit still coming out.
A little bit still coming out, but that's a great idea.
It is. If
I don't
you
know
want
though.
to add, I think I would just add the rum. You're so far out.
You're
then
still
you'll
9
have
months
more
away.
Extract, yeah.
And even if you wanted to throw in another bean, you could. And there, I don't know. Am I the only one? Like, there's something about leaving a jar sideways on my counter that scares me to death. Maybe it's my old parenting with my 2 boys running around. I'm like, I don't know why that scares me, but it does submerge them.
Right?
So that does work. That's a great idea for anyone that wants to just keep the alcohol level the same. Once your extract is ready to use, what's next? You put it in another jar to use in other recipes. Ask Trish. You do. So if you look on our website, look under mother jars. That's a great place to begin. You take the beans out, put them in your mother jar, and then you've got an extract bottle. You can take your big bottle, put them in little bottles to use. This is our favorite. This is our current extract that we're using right now.
This is Indonesian.
This is Indonesian in rum.
Yep. And so there are no beans in here. We took out the beans. I actually made powder, and we'll talk about that a little bit
We're going to
later.
talk about sugar next. Yep.
Yeah, but I made powder out of the beans that were in here.
Yep. Why can't I share this page, says Deidre. You can, at the very top of our group, there's an invite button. You're allowed to invite your friends to this group, and so just click on the invite button. Any other question? I thought when you add the liquor by topping it off that you were technically starting over. It's all about chemistry. And so, yes, if we filled the whole thing up, you're starting over, but you've already got, in this case, 9/10 of it is already made, and you're just putting a little bit on top. So by definition of perfect extract, it will extend the amount of time, but marginally. So on something like this, and you can kind of see just the little heads peeking up above the water, or above the alcohol, adding in a little Bacardi, I don't think that it's going to extend it that much more. It's kind of, scientifically, your question's correct. Does it work in practice? We've topped ours up many, many times,
on
and it
our
works just
mother
fine.
jars, I do it all the time. I'll just add a little bit, and I'll still use it just because there's so much of the extract that's ready, and all I do is add just a titch on the top. You don't even notice.
Cocoa nibs, where do we get them? If you look at our previous videos, we go over the cocoa nibs, where we got them. We'll leave that there so we can keep moving here.